What if death wasn't the end, but an upgrade? What if everything you've been told about it was a meticulously crafted lie? This isn't about some distant afterlife. It's about the very nature of your existence, right now, and how you transition into your next phase of being. The understanding of what happens when we die is not just an abstract concept. It deeply impacts how you live your life, the choices you make, and how you perceive reality itself. It's also about the shackles that keep us from our full potential, designed by those who seek to keep us from that very potential. This isn't some philosophical debate. It's a journey of personal empowerment, as this hidden truth has the power to dismantle the systems that have held humanity back for far too long. We are not passive spectators in the game of life. We are active participants and co-creators, yet we are often manipulated into playing a role that does not benefit our growth or the world at large. The theory is simple, yet profoundly powerful. Consciousness is a form of energy, not something contained within the boundaries of the physical body. It exists in a state of energetic frequency. Death, then, is not an end but a transformation, a shift in that energetic frequency, like water turning into vapor. The water is not gone, it is simply transformed into another state. This isn't a belief to be blindly accepted, but a core understanding, like knowing gravity exists, that is accessible to all who are willing to look beyond what they have been told. This knowledge has been deliberately kept from us by a select few, the elites, for their own benefit, creating a cycle of manipulation that can only be broken through a collective awakening. The fear of death is a powerful tool, deeply embedded in our societal programming, perpetuated by religions and media, constantly reinforcing the idea of a final and terrifying end. This fear keeps us from seeing our potential. It obscures the true nature of reality and keeps us from stepping into our own individual power. Most of what you believe about reality has been pre-programmed into you through societal norms, educational systems, and media narratives, all meticulously crafted to maintain the status quo, rather than reveal a deeper truth. The idea of mind over matter is one of the fundamental concepts of conscious creation, and the connection between your intention and your reality is undeniable. Consider the placebo effect, how your belief in a pill's effectiveness can physically alter your body's condition. This is just one example of how your consciousness and your beliefs directly impact your physical existence, and how intention can manifest your desires. This is not just a scientific theory, but also aligns with ancient spiritual knowledge and practical psychology, and each domain offers unique and valuable perspectives to understanding what reality really is. By exploring physics, ancient spiritual texts, and modern psychology, we can come closer to understanding the true nature of consciousness and how this knowledge has been suppressed. We are looking at a multifaceted issue that has roots in different domains. Why would they keep this from us? Who benefits from your fear? Are you being held back from your own upgrade? Powerful entities, knowingly, benefit from the suppression of this knowledge. These elites understand the nature of consciousness and how it can shift reality, and they work tirelessly to maintain control by manipulating our perception of reality through media and education, weaponizing fear to keep us in a state of submission. But it doesn't have to be this way. The cycle of control and awakening plays out on both an individual and collective level. Your personal transformation is the key to unlocking a collective awakening that will dismantle these systems of control. The information that will be revealed in this video offers not just abstract theories, but concrete evidence from near-death experiences, scientific research, and ancient texts. It's time to awaken. So if consciousness is energy, not a byproduct of the brain, what exactly is this energy, and how does it function? Think of your body not just as a physical structure, but as an energetic field, a complex web of frequencies interacting with everything around it. These energetic bodies are not some abstract concept from New Age gurus, but rather something that can be felt and even measured. Have you ever walked into a room and felt a palpable tension, or connected with someone and instantly felt their vibrant energy? That's the real, tangible experience of these energetic fields. Modern technology is beginning to catch up with this ancient knowledge, with devices that can detect and even measure the electromagnetic fields around the human body, showing the electrical activity of your heart and brain, proving that we are living, breathing generators of energy. Different states of consciousness, therefore, are simply different frequencies of this energy, much like a radio can be tuned to different stations. When we die, it's not the end of this energy, it's simply a shift in frequency, a change in its state. Death is not a light switch being turned off, it's more like a wave returning to the ocean. The energy remains, just in a different form. This isn't just a nice-sounding metaphor, but a fundamental aspect of how we can understand reality, where energy is constantly transforming, constantly in flux. Consider the vast amount of data collected from near-death experiences, or NDEs. People from all walks of life, from different cultures and beliefs, who have clinically died and returned to life, often report very similar experiences. They report leaving their physical bodies, observing their surroundings from above, experiencing a profound sense of peace and interconnectedness, and encountering beings of light. They often experience a full life review, as if they were watching a movie of their entire life. While the details may vary, there is a striking common thread of an expanded awareness, a sense of being pure consciousness, unconfined by the limitations of the physical body, almost like shedding a heavy coat on a hot day. They all, without exception, describe the experience as overwhelmingly real, far more so than our waking reality. The fact that people with vastly different beliefs and backgrounds report these consistent experiences lends credence to the idea that consciousness is not limited to the physical body, but continues beyond it. Could it be that, in this state, freed from the limitations of our physical senses, we perceive reality in a far more complete way? Could this state be our true state? The data is compelling. Now, let's explore how quantum physics supports these ideas. At the smallest level of reality, the rules of classical physics break down, and we enter the realm of the very bizarre. Quantum mechanics shows that energy and consciousness are intimately linked. The famous double-slit experiment demonstrates how the act of observation can directly influence the behavior of subatomic particles, changing from a wave-like probability into a particle-like actuality. This suggests that our consciousness is not just a passive observer of reality, but is actively participating in creating it. The observer effect challenges the conventional view of reality, suggesting that consciousness is fundamental to reality and not the other way around. If our consciousness is essential in the creation of our reality, is it possible that it is also fundamental to our individual experience of death? Can our beliefs about what happens after death impact what we experience? Are we simply creating our own upgrade through our beliefs? If our consciousness is energy and our intention is so powerful, can we not take more control of the experience? If quantum physics demonstrates that our conscious observation can shape reality, how can we start consciously shaping our own experience of death? This might sound like a very modern, cutting-edge idea, but in reality, many ancient spiritual traditions have already understood this principle for millennia. Ancient Egyptians believed that the soul, or Ka, was a form of energy that continued beyond the death of the physical body. Tibetan Buddhists describe a clear light of consciousness that is revealed at death, and their concept of Bardo, a transitional state, speaks to the idea of a shift in frequency and awareness. Vedic texts speak of Atman, the individual soul, as a part of Brahman, the universal consciousness, linking back to the idea that we are all waves in the same ocean. Throughout history and across different cultures, there's an underlying recognition that death isn't the end, but a transition of energy, a shift in state, like a caterpillar becoming a butterfly. The matter remains, but its form changes. These concepts aren't just philosophical musings. They are practical guides to navigating the journey of conscious transformation and how these ancient cultures viewed death. What does it mean if the world's oldest cultures all understood this? Yet the modern world is completely ignorant of these truths. If we look at history through the lens of energy and consciousness, a very clear pattern emerges that directly challenges the status quo. So if death is an upgrade and a shift in frequency, what does this upgrade actually entail? Well, think of your life as a video game. You start with a basic avatar with limited abilities. As you progress, you level up, unlocking new skills and accessing new areas of the game. Death, then, is not game over. It's simply the next level of your conscious journey, a transition from a limited, ego-based awareness to a far more expanded state of being, where your consciousness is no longer bound by the constraints of a physical body. It's as if you have been playing the game on a small screen, and then suddenly the screen expands to the size of a planet, with a new perspective and new access to deeper insights. It's not just a sudden shift, it's a gradual process of evolution, a continuous unfolding of your consciousness, both now and in the afterlife. The key to a smooth upgrade is not just something that happens at the point of death, but is a conscious process that unfolds through our entire lifetime and our level of awareness at our time of passing. The upgrade is not a passive event, but a process of conscious evolution. Now, how do we actively participate in this upgrade process? One of the first steps is to become more aware of our energetic body and actively work on expanding it. Practices like mindfulness, meditation, and conscious breathwork can increase your awareness of your energy field and give you direct access to your energetic state, and therefore your frequency. When you quiet your mind and focus your attention on your breath, you begin to perceive yourself not just as a physical being, but as a field of energy. These practices are not just for spiritual growth. They are practical tools to help you tune your own frequency, much like tuning a musical instrument to produce a clearer, more resonant sound. The more conscious we become of our energetic fields, the better we are able to manage our state of being, and therefore how we experience this upgrade. Imagine learning to feel your energy flow through your body. How much more in control of your transition could you be? This upgrade also means breaking free from the limitations that have been imposed on us. Think about how society programs us with limiting beliefs, telling us that we are not good enough, or not smart enough, or not worthy enough, setting up an internal program that keeps us small. This reality, in some sense, can be thought of as a simulation, a collective agreement on a certain set of rules and limitations. By recognizing this, and by changing our inner state, we start to see how we can break free from its limitations. Remember the double-slit experiment. If our consciousness is directly influencing the physical world, then how we perceive ourselves and what we believe to be true will directly shape our reality. To continue with our seed metaphor. A seed is programmed to become a specific type of plant, but that program can only be enacted with the right conditions, the right soil, the right amount of water, and the right amount of sunlight. If we are the seed, then what are the conditions we need to change to enable our most optimal growth? The limiting beliefs we hold become the conditions that are keeping us from fully expressing our potential. By changing these conditions within ourselves, we can fundamentally change our experience of reality. Ultimately, the upgrade is not a passive event, but an active participation in evolving consciousness. It's not something that just happens to you. It's something that you actively participate in by understanding how your energy functions. To shift from fear to love is not just a nice idea. It's a fundamental transformation of your energetic frequency, which can be achieved through practices that enhance your personal power, and therefore how you experience reality. If we want to move from a fear-based existence to a love-based one, then we need to change our personal frequency to that of love. Start by spending time in nature, practicing gratitude, and engaging in creative activities. Each of those can dramatically shift your energetic field and your state of consciousness, and therefore the reality that you experience. We can tune our own frequency to a higher state. The practices are simple. The implications, however, are world-changing. But why is this knowledge not readily available? Why are we constantly told to fear death and that we are insignificant beings in a meaningless universe? Well, consider the possibility that these ideas have been deliberately suppressed, kept from you by a system of control for its own benefit and to keep you in a state of low frequency and therefore easily manipulated. There are powerful entities that benefit greatly from your ignorance, and they are highly motivated to keep you from discovering your true potential. They do not want you to realize the true power you have and the fact that you are an energetic being. Think about how much money is made by the pharmaceutical industry by managing sickness, and how that is directly related to how sick we allow ourselves to get. This concept isn't just for pharmaceuticals. There are countless examples throughout all sectors of society. What is kept from you is the fact that you have the power to heal yourself and to shift your own state of consciousness, and they do not want you to realize that. Fear is the most potent tool of control, and it's actively used to keep us in a state of low frequency, and therefore more easily manipulated. Turn on any news channel, and you'll see fear-based stories dominating the narrative, keeping us constantly in a state of anxiety and stress. Political leaders often use fear to control their populations, while financial institutions often rely on fear to create a sense of urgency and instability. Fear is a commodity, and it's actively being monetized. It keeps us in a state of low frequency and low energy while keeping the elites in power. This control works on multiple layers, and the suppression of information is one of its most powerful tools. What would happen if people fully understood the true nature of consciousness? What if the fear of death was removed? What would that shift in perception do to the systems of control in our world? The answer is, those systems would collapse. Modern media, especially movies and TV shows, subtly program our minds with limiting beliefs and actively reinforce the status quo through predictive programming, setting us up for things that are yet to come. Think about how many movies portray death as a terrifying and final event, or how many TV shows reinforce the idea that we are powerless and insignificant, and how those repeated ideas become beliefs that start to directly impact the reality we experience. We are being fed programming from every side, constantly influencing our perceptions, much like a computer is constantly being fed code. These programs influence our thoughts and behaviors, and it's as if we are living in a digital matrix that is constantly programming us to stay in a state of fear. And yet, if we recognize that, we start to see how to take back our own control. If we understand that we are the programmers of our own systems, then how can we rewrite the programs we've been given? And unfortunately, even the organizations that are supposed to lead us toward enlightenment are often part of the control system, using dogma and false narratives to maintain power and to keep us in a state of fear. Organized religions often manipulate believers with fear of death and judgment, creating a sense of us versus them, all while benefiting from that financial control. The concept of original sin, or the fear of hell, keeps people in a state of guilt and shame, making them more vulnerable to manipulation. Organized religion often limits spiritual growth through dogma, rather than allowing individuals to experience the truth for themselves, becoming a controlling force that is designed to keep its followers enslaved to its own rules, rather than exploring their own truths. It also directly benefits financially from the fear and manipulation of its followers. Are those systems truly helping us, or are they part of a matrix of control? What if the path to enlightenment was not about following an external system, but a path of self-discovery and inner power? These questions might feel uncomfortable, but they need to be asked. But here's the most empowering part. Despite the systems of control that are working against us, you have the power to awaken from these limitations and to take back your own consciousness. You are not a passive victim of circumstance, but an active participant in the creation of your reality. This isn't about fighting the system, but about understanding it and then shifting your focus and intention. It's like a game. Once you understand the rules, you can start to play it on your own terms. This isn't just a nice idea, it's a fundamental truth about the nature of consciousness and how it works. Your personal transformation becomes a key to unlocking a collective awakening that can dismantle the systems of control. This journey to liberation begins with understanding how powerful you are. So, let's break down the specific mechanisms of this control system and move past the abstract idea of they to explore the very real ways that our beliefs are being manipulated. It's not just about a shadowy group pulling the strings from behind the scenes. It's about how institutions and systems, many of which we interact with daily, subtly shape our perceptions of reality, moving us further from our true power. Look at the news. How often are we bombarded with stories designed to trigger fear, anxiety, and division? These narratives are carefully crafted to keep us in a state of emotional reactivity, preventing us from engaging in critical thought. It's not just the overt messages, but the constant reinforcement of a worldview that is designed to disempower us and to keep us feeling small and insignificant. Consider even seemingly spiritual spaces. How much dogma, how many rules, and how much fear is used to control behavior and belief. These systems benefit from our fear of death and constantly reinforce the idea that we are powerless and need outside authorities to guide us. The constant repetition of these messages across all platforms programs us to accept them as truth, setting the stage for a cycle of control that keeps us trapped in a low-frequency state. Think about your own daily consumption and how many of those news or spiritual narratives are subtly influencing your own perception of reality. This programming is subtle and it's constant, creating an internal matrix of limitation and fear that keeps us trapped. Now, let's follow the money. The perpetuation of fear is not just a side effect of the system, it is a highly profitable industry. The pharmaceutical industry, for example, makes billions by treating the symptoms of illness, rather than addressing the root causes, often creating dependencies and keeping us in a state of chronic disease. If people understood the power they have to heal themselves, how many billions would be lost? This goes far beyond the medical industry. Media outlets profit from sensationalism, from keeping us in a state of heightened anxiety, generating clicks and attention that drive their revenue and keep us in a cycle of consumption. Even some religious institutions benefit financially from the fear of death and judgment, collecting tithes and donations while perpetuating a narrative of sin and unworthiness, making us dependent on external figures for spiritual guidance. This is all a game, and we are the pieces that are being played. Think about how many industries directly profit from our collective fear of death, and how that fear is a product that is being constantly sold to us by the same systems that want to keep us small and controlled. This constant exploitation keeps the system in power, while keeping us in a state of lack and limitation. But the control doesn't only come from the outside, it also operates within our own minds, using our own beliefs to keep us enslaved. The system is designed to install limiting beliefs and fear-based thoughts that create self-sabotaging patterns in our lives. Think about those moments of self-doubt, those feelings of unworthiness, those constant fears that hold you back from pursuing your dreams. All those are part of the program that keeps you within the confines of the control system. When we tell ourselves that we're not good enough, or that we're not capable of achieving our goals, we are, in fact, limiting our own potential, reinforcing the programs that keep us trapped. When we react with fear or anxiety to the news, we are simply feeding the system, actively participating in our own control. We become our own jailers, reinforcing the matrix of fear with our own limiting thoughts. This internalized control is just as powerful as the external systems that are working against us, and by becoming aware of it, we can start to take back our own power. The system's control is, in fact, only possible because we continue to believe in it. This interplay between the external systems and our internal states of mind creates a powerful feedback loop, reinforcing a continuous pattern of control and manipulation. The fear that is generated by the media is absorbed by the individual, becoming a limiting belief that reinforces their perception of reality. This perception, in turn, makes us more vulnerable to further manipulation. This cycle repeats itself over and over again, keeping us stuck in a low-frequency state, which makes it easier for the system to control our behavior and belief, creating an unbreakable loop. This same pattern can be seen in all areas of our lives: our financial situations, our physical health, and even our spiritual paths. The constant exposure to fear-based messages programs our minds to accept limitation as the natural state of being, while creating more dependency on external validation and approval. This constant bombardment, this repetition, makes the fear feel normal, and this is where the trap lies. But recognizing that pattern is the key to breaking free and reclaiming our power. It's not just about recognizing it intellectually. It's about feeling that pattern in our daily lives and consciously choosing to break it. The fear of death is the most potent tool used to keep us enslaved in a low state of consciousness, a low frequency. It keeps us tethered to a limited perception of reality, constantly afraid of the unknown, and therefore easily manipulated by external forces. Think about how many decisions we make every day that are based on a fear of loss, a fear of pain, a fear of change. This fear loop operates on both the conscious and subconscious level. At a conscious level, the fear of death prevents us from questioning the narratives we've been told, making us more likely to accept the status quo. At the subconscious level, the fear creates a deep sense of anxiety and insecurity, constantly pushing us to seek validation and approval from external sources. This cycle of fear keeps us from exploring our full potential, from realizing our true nature as powerful creators, locking us into a perpetual state of limitation. This is no accident, and recognizing the power of this loop is the first step to breaking free and claiming your power, and making your upgrade more powerful. What if we were not afraid to die? What kind of power would we reclaim? This fear is not only a personal experience, but a tool that's actively weaponized by those in power to control entire populations. Political leaders often use fear-based narratives to incite conflict, to justify war, and to consolidate their power, creating division between groups, making it easier to control the masses. Media outlets, as we've seen, constantly amplify stories of violence, disaster, and political unrest to keep us in a state of heightened fear and anxiety, feeding our subconscious mind with a narrative of danger and instability. This constant bombardment creates a sense of unease and insecurity, making us more likely to seek protection from external authorities and less likely to challenge them. The system creates a problem and then offers the solution in order to control all aspects of our lives. This manipulation is not subtle. It's a systematic effort to keep us in a perpetual state of fear, making us more susceptible to control and manipulation. This isn't some abstract concept. It's a very real and effective strategy used by those in power to maintain their control. And not only is fear used for control, it's also a highly profitable business. The fear-based economy is vast and well-established. Think about the insurance industry, which profits directly from the fear of accidents and disasters, and how much money is made selling products that promise security and safety. The security industry makes billions from fear-based products and services, as well as the self-help industry, which preys on our insecurities and sells us solutions that perpetuate the problem. This financial incentive drives a continuous cycle of fear and control. By keeping us in a state of anxiety and vulnerability, these industries are able to create a demand for their products and services, ensuring their continued financial success, all while keeping us in a state of low frequency. The entire system is designed to benefit from our fear, and when we buy into that fear, we are also feeding into the same systems that seek to control us. The key to breaking free is understanding that we are the source of their power, and by shifting our beliefs, we can redirect that flow. But here's the most empowering part. We can escape this fear trap. It begins with conscious awareness. By recognizing the fear-based narratives that are constantly being fed to us, we can begin to see them for what they are, tools of control and manipulation. Practicing mindfulness, breathwork, and meditation can help us to become more aware of our internal states, enabling us to recognize and release fear-based thinking and allowing us to connect to our power. These are not just practices to calm our minds. They are also practices to reclaim our power and to choose our own responses to the events that occur in our lives. We have the power to choose a different state of being, one that is not dictated by fear, but one that is rooted in love, courage, and creativity. By consciously shifting our focus, we can start to dismantle the fear-based system that is trying to keep us in a state of low frequency and step into a higher state of awareness and control while making our upgrade smoother and more powerful. Now, let's delve even deeper into the understanding of consciousness as a powerful force that actively shapes our reality. Remember the observer effect in quantum physics. It demonstrates that our consciousness is not just a passive observer of reality, but is actively participating in creating it. This is not just an abstract theory. It's a fundamental aspect of how reality functions. Our intentions, our thoughts, and our emotions are not just internal experiences. They are energetic forces that are interacting with the quantum field, shaping the world around us, and directly influencing our upgrade. When we are operating from a place of fear and limitation, we are creating a reality that reflects those beliefs. When we operate from a place of love and empowerment, we create a world that mirrors those states. The universe is not happening to us, it's happening through us. And this is the key to consciously participating in our own upgrade. Consciousness is the fundamental force of the universe, and it is through our conscious focus and our intentionality that we can change our world and how we experience our own upgrade. The frequency we vibrate at is directly related to the way we perceive our reality. And this brings us to the vital connection between our current level of consciousness and our upgrade or transition to another state. Think of the seed metaphor. What we are now is the seed that determines our upgrade into our future. If that seed is filled with fear and limitation, then that's what we will experience after the transition. If the seed is full of love, joy, and empowerment, then that will be our upgrade experience. The transition isn't just something that happens to us when we die. It's a continuation of our current state of consciousness. It's as if you are downloading all of your programming into the next stage of your evolution. That program is the compilation of your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and actions that are being recorded in your field of consciousness. How you live your life right now is literally determining your future experience. So, actively working on raising our consciousness is not just about feeling better in this present moment. It is also about actively preparing ourselves for a more powerful experience during our conscious upgrade, which is the transition we call death. This understanding underscores the importance of the present moment and how what we choose to focus on and how we choose to act is directly shaping our future upgrade. The upgrade is not something that happens after, but something that is continuously unfolding in the now. The way we engage with our present experiences, how we respond to challenges, and what we choose to believe about ourselves and the world, all these become a part of our energetic blueprint and will accompany us into our next state of being. Each moment is an opportunity to cultivate a higher state of consciousness, to make different choices, to release limiting beliefs, and to consciously shape our path of transformation. The upgrade is not something we can prepare for later. It's something we must actively engage with now. We are not waiting for the upgrade to begin. We are actively creating it with every thought, emotion, and action we take. Therefore, all of the practices we've talked about so far, mindfulness, meditation, breathwork, visualization, are not just tools for personal well-being. They are powerful techniques for consciously preparing ourselves for our continued conscious evolution. These practices are tools for expanding our consciousness, releasing limiting beliefs, and directly influencing our energetic frequency, and therefore making our transition a smoother and more powerful experience. They enable us to connect with our true selves, beyond the constraints of the physical body and the limitations that have been placed on us. When we use these practices, we are not just meditating, we are consciously reshaping our reality and our future upgrade. They are not just tools for now, they are also tools for our future and for our transformation. Think of it like watering a seed. If you want to produce a certain type of fruit, you need to tend to the seed in a very specific way. Our consciousness is the same, and how we feed it will directly impact the quality of the fruit that is ultimately produced. Now, let's explore a crucial concept. The system, or as you might call it, the simulation, responds directly to our beliefs and assumptions. This idea is not just philosophical. It's supported by quantum physics, which shows how the act of observation directly influences the behavior of reality at a quantum level. And as we explored, this is directly linked to consciousness. What we believe to be true, whether consciously or subconsciously, shapes our experience of reality, creating the circumstances and events that play out in our lives. If we believe we are limited, we will create a reality of limitation. If we believe that we are powerful, we will create a world of empowerment. The world around us is a direct reflection of our internal state, and understanding this principle is key to taking back control. We are not passive observers in this reality. We are active participants, and our beliefs are the keys to unlocking its potential. The system is responding to your beliefs, both positive and negative. Think of your beliefs as programs, like the software that is running on a computer. These programs are continuously shaping your reality, determining how you perceive the world, how you interact with it, and what you are capable of achieving. Many of these programs are running subconsciously, having been installed by our families, our communities, and by society. The fear-based narratives that we are constantly bombarded with also function like programs, reinforcing the idea that we are limited and powerless. These programs limit our potential, create cycles of fear and limitation, and keep us trapped within the confines of the system. And just like a computer's software, our beliefs can be updated, changed, and reprogrammed. By becoming aware of these subconscious programs, we can consciously choose to install more empowering software, creating new beliefs that align with our true potential and actively changing our experience of reality. Our minds are not a fixed system, and recognizing that is a powerful way to take back control. We are the programmers of our experience. The most exciting part is that by consciously shifting our beliefs, we can actively reshape our realities, we can alter our frequency, and therefore change how the upgrade unfolds, and even how we experience the world right now. If you believe you are not capable, you will create a life that reflects that. If you believe in your power and potential, you create an experience that embodies that belief. This is not just positive thinking, it's the practical application of our understanding of consciousness as an active force in the universe. When we change our beliefs, we change our reality, both internal and external. This is not a passive idea. When we operate from a place of empowerment, we begin to see opportunities where we previously saw limitations. We create synchronicity where we saw only chaos, and we move forward with intention instead of being led by fear. We are constantly creating our reality, and when we are conscious of that, we can take control of the creation process. Breaking free from these limiting beliefs is the most powerful way to dismantle the system of control, both external and internal. When we stop believing in the limitations that have been imposed on us, we begin to dissolve the power structures that rely on our ignorance and fear. Releasing these beliefs shifts our energetic frequency, which allows us to perceive a world of greater possibility. The upgrade, then, becomes a natural unfolding of our own potential, not a passive event that is dictated by external forces. When we take responsibility for our own thoughts and beliefs, we reclaim our power, not only over our lives in the present moment, but also over our own transformation and upgrade. This awareness empowers us to become active participants in our own destiny, breaking free from the chains of fear and limitation, and step fully into our potential as conscious co-creators of our lives and our own conscious evolution. And it all begins with conscious intention, the power to choose our focus, our actions, and our beliefs. Our intentions are the seeds that create the reality we experience in every moment. When we consciously choose to focus on empowerment and growth, we shape a reality that is filled with opportunity and abundance. When we focus on fear, we create a world filled with limitation and lack. Our thoughts, emotions, and intentions are the instruments through which we shape reality, moment by moment. By consciously choosing our focus, we are choosing the reality that we create, both in the present moment and in our own experience of the upgrade. This principle is not only theoretical, it's profoundly practical and deeply personal, and we all have access to it right now. Our minds are powerful tools, and with intention, we can start to use them for our own benefit, not against it. So, how do we consciously shift our focus? By practicing mindfulness and meditation, we can become aware of the patterns of thinking that are keeping us trapped, and consciously choose to focus our attention on more empowering thoughts. We can also use visualization to actively create a future reality that aligns with our highest intentions. Breathwork, for example, is a very potent tool for managing our emotions and shifting our frequency. Start by noticing the moments you are pulled into negative thinking, the moments you feel limited and afraid. When you notice them, consciously shift your focus to thoughts of love, joy, empowerment, and abundance. It's not about pretending those negative thoughts are not there. It's about consciously choosing not to focus on them. Even in small moments, these shifts in focus will make dramatic changes to your state of being and to the reality that you experience. These techniques are not just exercises. They are real, practical tools that you can apply every day to shift your focus and to reprogram your reality. Reclaiming your personal power is not a passive process. It's an active commitment to consciously creating your own reality. This starts with taking responsibility for your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, and actively choosing to align them with your highest intentions. The upgrade is something you create with your intentions and actions, and how you engage in your current state will directly affect your transition. This is not about waiting for something to happen, it's about actively creating it. You are not just a victim of circumstance. You are a powerful creator with the ability to transform your life and your reality. You must commit to consistently choose empowerment over limitation and step into your power as a conscious co-creator of your reality and your own upgrade. This is not something to consider, it's something to actively engage in, and it starts right now. And it's vital to remember that individual empowerment is directly linked to collective transformation. As we each shift our consciousness, we contribute to a larger awakening that can dismantle systems of control, elevate our collective frequency, and create a world that is based on love, peace, and abundance. This change begins with each of us, with each choice we make to operate from a higher state of consciousness. This is not about fighting against something, but about creating something new. When we consciously choose to focus on empowerment, growth, and love, we are not only transforming our own lives, we are actively contributing to the transformation of the world. This is not only about you, it's about us. And your journey to empowerment will directly impact the collective. We are all interconnected, and our individual choices have a ripple effect across all of existence. So, let's dig deeper into the specific architecture of this control system, moving beyond the general idea of manipulation to examine the concrete ways that information and perception are shaped at a societal level. This isn't about some mysterious cabal working in the shadows. It's about understanding how institutions, many of which we believe are benign, operate to maintain a specific narrative, keeping us in a state of fear, limitation, and separation. Consider how the media operates. It's not just the overt bias in reporting, but also the subtle ways that certain stories are amplified while others are ignored, creating a distorted view of reality that keeps us in a state of anxiety and reactivity. Education systems, while seemingly intended to enlighten, often reinforce the status quo, indoctrinating us into a belief system that perpetuates the existing power structures, while creating a culture of conformity that discourages critical thinking and personal questioning. Political systems, often designed to be democratic, are frequently manipulated to serve the interests of a select few, using propaganda and rhetoric to control the masses, creating division and reinforcing the us versus them narrative. These are not isolated incidents. It's a coordinated blueprint designed to keep us in a state of fear, limitation, and separation from our own power. This interconnected system operates on multiple levels, reinforcing a narrative that disempowers us and keeps us from our true potential, while perpetuating a constant cycle of control. Let's investigate the concept of subliminal programming, not as hidden messages in the literal sense, but as the subtle ways that language and imagery shape our subconscious minds in our daily lives. Think about how advertising uses carefully chosen words and powerful, often aspirational, imagery to create a desire for products that often offer no real benefit. The use of repetition, both visual and auditory, creates a subconscious program that links certain products to feelings of happiness, success, or belonging, programming our brains to equate these things with the products that are being sold to us. The same pattern can be seen in the media, where certain narratives are repeated constantly, subtly influencing our subconscious minds to accept these narratives as truth. News channels, for instance, use specific language and imagery to trigger fear and anxiety, creating a subconscious association between the world and a sense of threat, or a political party with evil. This isn't about discovering hidden messages in a movie. It's about understanding how our subconscious is constantly being programmed by the constant bombardment of these carefully crafted messages, creating an internal operating system that keeps us within the confines of the control system, with or without us knowing it. The pattern continues when we consider the ways that spiritual concepts are often co-opted and distorted to serve control agendas, creating a sense of dependency and fear that prevents us from accessing our true spiritual power. Reflect on how organized religions often rely on fear of judgment, guilt, and sin to maintain control over their followers, twisting spiritual teachings to create a sense of unworthiness that makes individuals dependent on external authorities for salvation. The New Age movement, while often presenting itself as a path to enlightenment, can also be used to create a dependency on gurus and external validation, often promoting ideas of personal limitations and disempowerment in the guise of spiritual wisdom. This is not about dismissing spirituality, but it's crucial to acknowledge that the system often manipulates even the search for spiritual connection, using fear and dogma to control the way that people access their own inner wisdom, creating more dependency. This pattern reveals that true spirituality is about self-discovery and personal empowerment, not about external control or dependency. The distortion of spiritual concepts is just another layer of control in this ongoing game, and is designed to keep us searching outside of ourselves for answers that we already hold. Now, let's explore the power of collective belief and how these shared agreements create and maintain the control system, highlighting that the system's power lies in our collective participation. Consider how mass belief systems are created and reinforced by media, social trends, and repeated narratives, forming a consensus reality that is difficult to challenge. Political movements, social groups, and even global trends are often driven by shared beliefs that are not necessarily based on facts, but are rather carefully constructed through repeated messaging and media reinforcement. This is why so many people can hold a specific political belief or subscribe to a particular religion, with the deep certainty that they are correct, even when that idea is completely illogical or detrimental. This pattern demonstrates that it's very easy to be pulled into these collective agreements, even if they don't align with our own core values or beliefs, creating a reality that is not based on our own experience, but rather on the shared beliefs of the collective. It's imperative that we recognize that the system only functions through our collective participation, and that our collective beliefs are the very foundation of this structure of control. This understanding highlights that awareness of this control system is the first and most important step in breaking free from it. The control system relies on our ignorance, and by acknowledging its existence and its mechanisms, we start to reclaim our power and begin to dismantle its influence over our lives. But it also requires looking inward to understand our own beliefs and assumptions. We must constantly ask ourselves, are our beliefs truly our own, or are they simply echoes of the programs that have been installed in our subconscious? How can we consciously challenge those limiting beliefs and start to create new ones that align with our true potential and power? This process begins with self-reflection, with meditation, with mindfulness, with all the techniques that we have already explored, because all of those bring more awareness to our own internal processes and enables us to challenge limiting ideas. The key lies in understanding that personal awareness is the foundation for all genuine empowerment, and it's only when we become aware of the control system and our own limiting beliefs that we can start to actively break free. Let's investigate the idea that reality is a perception, not a fixed thing, and explore how this understanding can provide us with the power to reframe our reality. Think of two people witnessing the same event and how differently they perceive it, with different emotions and with different reactions. The event is the same, but the interpretation of that event is vastly different, which shows that our own internal state is the biggest factor in shaping our experience. The world we perceive is not a direct representation of reality, but rather a filtered interpretation of reality that is influenced by our beliefs, our experiences, and our emotional states. By changing our beliefs, we can change our perceptions. We can reframe any situation, shifting from a place of limitation to a place of possibility. This isn't about positive thinking. It's about realizing that our perceptions are not fixed and that we have the power to choose the lens through which we view the world, creating a reality that is aligned with our intention and our highest potential. This is the understanding that empowers us to change any circumstance, any experience, just by changing the way we perceive it. This understanding also leads us to the idea of transcending duality, a concept that is often used to maintain control by creating an us versus them mentality and reinforcing a sense of separation. Consider how many systems are based on this idea of division. Political systems, religious systems, social systems, they all create division by promoting the idea of good versus evil, right versus wrong, or us versus them. This creates a framework of constant conflict and judgment, which is designed to keep us in a state of fear and disconnection, making us more susceptible to manipulation. Explore the idea that this duality is not a reflection of reality, but rather an artificial construct that keeps us trapped in a state of limitation. True reality is not based on separation, but on the interconnectedness of all things, which is the core of many spiritual ideas. We begin to see that the universe is not a battleground between opposing forces, but rather an interconnected field of consciousness, where everything is part of the same source, and we are all part of that whole. By transcending this duality, we can step into a new paradigm of unity and interconnectedness, dissolving the illusion of separation and stepping into our power. And all of this leads us to the concept of the choice point, that each moment is an opportunity to choose our focus, our intentions, and our reality. This pattern reveals that we are not passive victims of circumstances. We are active creators of our own experiences, and that our choices shape our individual realities as well as our collective experience. When we consciously choose to focus on love, joy, and abundance, we create a reality that mirrors those feelings. When we choose fear, limitation, or lack, we create a world that reflects those beliefs. Each moment is a new opportunity to choose, to create the experiences we want to have, and to actively participate in our own evolution, making our upgrade a conscious and powerful one. This demonstrates that our individual choices have a far-reaching impact and that the upgrade isn't something that happens later. It is something we create in the now. Now, let's delve into actionable steps for using intentionality to create our desired reality. This is not a passive process, but an active one, requiring conscious engagement and consistent practice. Visualize your desired outcomes with clarity and focus, and feel the emotions that you would experience as if it was already happening, which sends a clear signal to your subconscious mind, which will begin to create the circumstances that align with your vision. Affirmations are also a powerful tool for reprogramming limiting beliefs, creating new ones that align with your potential. The key is not just to repeat the affirmations, it's to feel the truth of them in your heart. The most important part is to integrate these practices into daily life, making them part of your routine, not just formal exercises. When you feel challenged, use visualization to feel your desired reality, and use affirmations to consciously focus your mind on empowerment and love. This is the understanding that moves intentionality from an idea to a daily tool that you can use to reshape your experience. Living in alignment with our true selves is another key to accelerating the upgrade process, while also creating a more fulfilling present experience. Explore the idea that being in alignment means living authentically, acting in accordance with our values, and expressing our unique gifts and talents. This requires conscious self-awareness and a willingness to embrace our individuality, not our programs. This isn't about seeking external approval, but rather about cultivating a deep sense of inner knowing and self-trust, which creates a natural state of alignment with our true purpose. When you feel stressed, ask yourself, am I acting in alignment with my true self? Am I living a life that is aligned with my highest potential? The more often you ask yourself this question, the more clear your true path will be, and the more powerful your upgrade will be. This is the understanding that aligns your actions and creates a natural flow in your life. The power of focus cannot be overstated, as what we focus on expands, both in our present reality and also in our future upgrade. This demonstrates that we have a choice in where we direct our attention, and that conscious choices will dramatically shift our experience. Choose to direct your attention towards what you want to create instead of what you want to avoid. This isn't about ignoring challenges, but rather about choosing to focus on the solutions instead of the problems, on the possibilities instead of the limitations. The conscious application of focus is a very potent tool, and when we focus on what we want, we are actively engaging with the upgrade process and consciously directing our path forward. Remember the idea that energy flows where attention goes, and how powerful that really is. What do you want to attract? What kind of experience do you want to have? What kind of upgrade do you want? And all of this leads us to the idea of empowered action, that we can transform both our individual lives and the collective experience by actively integrating these principles. Start with small steps, and with consistency, you can generate powerful change over time. This highlights that this is not a passive journey, but an active one, requiring consistent engagement, persistence, and a commitment to growth. All of this is connected to the upgrade process, and by actively engaging in personal transformation, we are actively engaging in our own conscious evolution, and therefore our conscious transition. We are not waiting for something to happen, we are actively creating it. We are not waiting for our upgrade, we are living it now, with every step we take. All of these themes are connected: consciousness, the upgrade, control systems, and personal empowerment are all interconnected parts of a larger picture. This is not a set of separate concepts, but different expressions of the same underlying truth. The internal state and the external reality are always connected, and how we choose to perceive and act within ourselves dictates how we experience reality around us. We are not separate from our experiences. We are actively creating them with our thoughts, our intentions, and our actions. The upgrade is simply the continuation of this process of conscious creation. And by understanding this pattern, we can step into our power as co-creators of our lives and our destiny. And all of this is part of a great awakening, a global shift in consciousness that is already underway, driven by individuals who are choosing to awaken to their power, their potential, and their interconnectedness. This idea is not just a hopeful theory. It's an observable process that is taking place around the world as more and more people are questioning the narratives they have been given, choosing to live from a place of love, empowerment, and unity, instead of fear and separation. The us versus them is transforming into a united front against the manipulation, and the momentum for this transformation is building every day. This is not a battle, it's an awakening, and this transformation begins with each and every one of us. The most empowering part is that the choice to awaken is ultimately yours, and you are not waiting for an upgrade. You are actively creating it with every conscious choice you make. This is not a passive journey. It's an active participation in shaping your own destiny, your own reality, and your own conscious evolution. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a powerful creator with the ability to transform your life and your experience of the upgrade. The power is, and always has been, within you. And there's more to reveal, more actionable steps you can take to accelerate your personal awakening and your conscious upgrade. So, get ready, because the next stage is designed to give you the final tools you need to fully embrace your power and step into your potential. Let's now move from the general understanding of the upgrade to the specific, personal way that this process unfolds for each of us, exploring the idea that while the overall shift in consciousness is universal, your journey is uniquely your own, like a personalized blueprint. Think of it as if you're the architect of your own evolution, designing your very own upgrade experience, not as a passive recipient, but as the active creator of your transition. This individualized approach takes into account your unique life experiences, your beliefs, and your intentions, creating a specific path, custom-destined for your expansion, which makes this a deeply personal journey that no one else can live for you, or even influence beyond a certain point. Every choice, every action, every belief is a brushstroke on the canvas of your transformation, adding layers of meaning and purpose that shape the final outcome. Understanding your own personal blueprint isn't just about intellectual awareness. It's about recognizing that you're not on some predetermined course, but actively navigating your conscious evolution with the full power of your awareness, which is the key to consciously engaging with the upgrade process. This isn't some abstract idea, it's the very core of your unique journey and what allows you to take the driver's seat. And how do you understand this personalized blueprint? Consider the idea of an energetic map of yourself, a dynamic landscape that is constantly changing in response to your thoughts, emotions, and actions. This map isn't a static structure. It's a fluid expression of your energetic state, constantly shifting in response to the choices you make, like a river that is always flowing and taking new shapes. Your beliefs create energetic patterns that manifest in your map. And when you hold limiting beliefs, your energetic field is contracted, creating an experience of limitation. In contrast, when you embrace empowering beliefs, your field expands, attracting more love, joy, and abundance. And how do you find this map in yourself? Think of it as tuning into your own unique frequency. If you are in a low mood, you are vibrating at a low frequency, which generates more negative experiences. If you are in a state of joy, you are vibrating at a high frequency, which creates a completely different reality. This energetic map shows how these frequencies change within you based on the choices you make. But the most important part is that this map is not fixed. This is not your destiny or a sentence you must serve. It's a dynamic field that can be changed with intention and conscious focus, meaning that you have the ultimate power over your own energetic map. You are not just looking at a map. You are the one who is creating it. Now, consider how every experience you've had, both positive and negative, has contributed to the creation of your current energetic blueprint. This implies that nothing has been wasted, and all of your choices, the challenges and the joys, all have been meaningful contributions to your evolution, adding depth and texture to your personal landscape. When you view those past mistakes as opportunities for growth and learning, you're transforming those experiences from anchors that hold you back into springboards that propel you forward. That difficult experience from your past was not a sign of failure, but the perfect opportunity for you to learn, expand, and grow. By embracing your entire life journey, you are reclaiming your power and integrating all of those experiences into the masterpiece of your own unique upgrade, transforming everything that seemed wrong into an invaluable part of your path. This is your personal story, and every single word in it is important. This isn't about ignoring the past. It is about using the past to consciously shape the future. And the most important part is that you're not bound by your current blueprint. You have the capacity to actively customize it through conscious intention. Think of your blueprint not as a fixed plan, but as a living document that you're constantly editing, shaping, and evolving. Every time you make a conscious choice, every time you shift a belief, you are rewriting your code and actively shaping your upgrade, not just for the future, but for now. This is an ongoing process, and you are not just passively experiencing life. You are the author, constantly refining your own story. This isn't simply about feeling better. It's about becoming more powerful, more conscious, more aligned with your highest potential. The power to shape your upgrade rests within you in every choice you make and every intention you set, which brings all of these ideas back into the present moment. You're not waiting for an upgrade. You're actively creating it. Now, let's explore the practical steps of actively reprogramming your blueprint, starting with the identification of the limiting programs that are creating distortion and limitation in your experience. These limiting beliefs, those ingrained ideas that don't serve you, act like viruses in your blueprint, actively hindering your growth and creating patterns of negativity in your life. And these limiting programs often operate on a subconscious level, making them harder to identify and therefore even more important to uncover. Start with active self-awareness. Tune in to the patterns of your thoughts, your emotions, and your reactions. Where do you feel a sense of limitation? Where do you feel resistance? Those are the places that hold the key to your limiting beliefs. Start journaling. Write down your thoughts, your feelings, and your patterns, and look for recurring themes or limiting beliefs. Ask yourself, what do I truly believe about myself, about the world, about my potential? What negative stories do I keep repeating to myself? The more awareness you bring to these negative programs, the more easily you can transform them, moving them from the subconscious into the conscious, which is the first step of reprogramming your code. This awareness isn't just for self-improvement, it's for actively taking charge of your own upgrade. And now that you've identified those limiting programs, it's time to actively rewrite the code. Think of your mind as a computer and your beliefs as the software that operates it, and you have the power to debug your code and replace it with empowering new software. This isn't about denial, but about a conscious replacement, an active choice to align with your highest potential. Using the power of intention, consciously choose the new beliefs that you want to install into your system. Use affirmations to create those new patterns. Repeating your new beliefs with conviction and emotion helps to overwrite the old limiting beliefs that don't serve you. Use visualization to create an image of your desired outcome and feel the emotions of that outcome as if it was already here, which sends a clear signal to your subconscious mind, which will then operate from a new set of beliefs. And the most important part is to integrate these practices into your day-to-day life, making them consistent parts of your routine, because consistency is the key to long-term transformation, as well as the most direct path to creating the upgrade you desire. This process isn't just a quick fix, it's an active rewiring of your own system. You are not just changing your beliefs. You are actively creating a new reality. And when you rewrite your code, You will notice how your energetic patterns start to shift, which will then create changes in your external world. When you release limiting beliefs, you are creating new energetic patterns that are more empowering and aligned with your highest potential, transforming your energetic map in the process. This shift isn't just an internal experience. It has tangible effects in your day-to-day life. You'll begin to attract new opportunities, new experiences, and new relationships that are a reflection of your expanded state of being. This is a perfect example of how your inner world and outer world are always interconnected, and how changing your inner landscape will always lead to changes in your external reality. Your frequency is shifting because your beliefs are shifting, and that is what creates a new reality for you. This isn't just about feeling good, it's about actively creating a smoother and more empowering upgrade, which will bring more clarity, more joy, and more abundance into your life, while also preparing you for your transition into a new state of consciousness. The shift in your energetic patterns isn't just an internal shift, it's a transformation that ripples through every aspect of your life. And now, with this new understanding, you can actively activate your desired blueprint by aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your intentions, creating a clear pathway to your desired upgrade. This isn't a passive hopping for the best. It's about actively engaging with your personal power and directing that energy towards specific outcomes. Start by setting clear intentions, knowing exactly what kind of experience you desire, which will allow you to align all of your choices with that outcome. Consciously choose actions that support your intentions. When you behave in a way that is aligned with your new beliefs, you are reinforcing those beliefs on every level. Cultivate the emotions that you want to experience, feeling joy, love, and gratitude in the present moment, as if they were already here, which creates an energetic pattern that aligns you with those experiences. This alignment creates momentum and accelerates your personal transformation, making the idea of the upgrade more real and tangible, not something that is coming, but something that you are creating in the now. You're no longer just visualizing a desired blueprint. You're actively living it, activating it, and bringing it into reality. Let's move into the understanding of intention as a creative force that is shaping not only your present reality, but also your experience of the upgrade itself, a force that is always active, and that is constantly creating your experience. And how can you really understand the power of intention? Think of it as the rudder of a ship, always directing your course, and you have the power to steer your ship in any direction you choose, creating a completely new horizon. This isn't just a mental exercise, it's an active engagement with your own creative power and a crucial part of shaping your own experience. Setting clear intentions is the first step. Know exactly what it is you desire and feel the emotions that are aligned with that experience. Use the power of visualization to see it clearly, and the power of affirmations to solidify your intentions in your subconscious, making it real and tangible. Then, act in alignment with your intentions, making every choice a reflection of the reality that you want to create. Every intention is a seed that is being planted in the ground of your consciousness, and when you nourish that seed with focused attention and consistent action, you are setting the stage for a conscious upgrade, which will be a direct reflection of your current state of consciousness. Your intentions aren't just a future possibility, they are the living fabric of your present experience, as well as the blueprint for your conscious transition. And this leads us to the understanding that you are creating your upgrade in every single moment, through the thoughts you choose, the emotions you hold, and the actions you take. This demonstrates that the present moment isn't just living, it's the very core of your conscious evolution, a constant act of creation, and that means that every single moment is an opportunity to shape your future, your upgrade, and your entire reality. The present moment is not just a preparation for the upgrade, it's the active engagement with that transition. Every choice you make, every breath you take, is either moving you closer or farther away from the reality you want to create. This isn't some future goal that is coming. It's a constant process of creation that is taking place within you with every choice you make. This isn't just a theory. It's a practical understanding that you can use to transform your life in this moment. Your upgrade isn't some distant event. It's the culmination of every moment, every choice, every intention that you set. And because every moment is a choice, conscious choice-making is the most powerful tool that you have to direct the upgrade process. This isn't about making good or bad choices. It's about making choices that are aligned with your highest potential and your desired outcome, that are all reflections of the experiences you desire to have. When you're making a decision, ask yourself, is this choice aligned with my intention? Is it creating a positive experience in this moment? Is it moving me closer to the upgrade that I desire? And when you start making choices from this place of awareness, you begin to see your reality shifting, as all of your choices become intentional acts of creation. This isn't a passive acceptance of life, but an active engagement with your power and a conscious decision to step into your potential. Your conscious choices are not just small decisions. They are the building blocks of your entire reality and your entire upgrade. And this also highlights that the very experience of the upgrade is not a predetermined outcome, but something that you actively shape with your intention. Consider that your very focus and the intention you set for that transition shapes how you will perceive it and how you will experience it, making it a conscious and empowering transition and not a passive one. If you focus on the idea of fear and judgment, you will have an experience that mirrors that intention. But when you focus on love, expansion, and joy, you'll experience that transition in that very same way. This means that you're not just passively waiting for something to happen. You are actively designing the experience itself. All of the work you've been doing, all of the practices you've been engaging with, all of the beliefs that you have been changing are all tools to create the kind of upgrade that you desire and step into the next stage of your conscious evolution from a place of empowerment, clarity, and purpose. The conscious shaping of your transition isn't just a possibility. It's the ultimate expression of your creative power. And all of this leads us to the understanding that every individual act of empowerment has a ripple effect on the collective consciousness. This reveals that your journey of self-discovery isn't just about your personal transformation, but about your contribution to the evolution of the entire human family. Every step that you take towards your personal awakening sends waves of positive energy that influence the world around you. Your shift in consciousness is not isolated, it's interconnected, and it contributes to the collective shift. You are a powerful agent of change, and your personal transformation is a crucial piece of the puzzle in creating a more positive and loving world. This isn't just about your own upgrade. It's about the collective upgrade and your role in the evolution of humanity. And this collective awakening is already underway, and your personal journey is an essential part of that transformation. Think of the times that you've seen more and more people questioning the narratives that have been given to them, as they choose to live from a place of love and empowerment instead of fear and separation. This is a sign that the control structures are starting to dissolve, and that the momentum for positive change is building every single day. This isn't a battle between different sides. It's a global awakening of human consciousness, and each and every one of us is playing a crucial role in that transformation. You are not just an observer of this process. You are an active participant in it, and your commitment to growth is a catalyst for the collective shift and the creation of a better world, while also creating the upgrade that you desire. And as we move towards this collective transformation, we are also beginning to understand that by transcending our individual fears, we're creating a collective field of love and empowerment that is capable of shifting the course of humanity. The understanding that fear is the primary tool of the control system creates an urgent need to release those fears and step into love, knowing that every time you face your fear, you are removing a block, not just from your own life, but from the collective consciousness, creating a better world for all of us. Every act of courage, every act of love, Every step towards empowerment creates a field that supports the evolution of all, which directly impacts the collective upgrade that we are all moving towards. Your journey is not just your own. It's an essential part of the human experience, and every act of love that you contribute sends a powerful wave through the collective field. And this leads us to a powerful vision of the future, a vision where conscious individuals create a new reality based on unity, love, and empowerment, rather than fear and control. A vision of a new Earth, where all of us are living from our highest potential, a world where we are connected, a world without the fear of death. Where the upgrade is a natural process that is greeted with joy and anticipation. This vision isn't just a hopeful fantasy, it's a tangible possibility that is being created by the conscious choices of individuals who are choosing to live from their heart and their highest potential. Your active participation is the key to making this vision a reality. This is the new Earth, and all of us are co-creating it in this moment with every single choice we make. This is a lot to take in and a lot of new information, but it's all building towards one single point. You are far more powerful than you've been led to believe, and the power to transform your life and your upgrade has always been within you. So get ready, because in the next section, we will explore the last pieces of the puzzle, giving you the final tools you need to step fully into your power and embrace the conscious evolution that you were born to experience. So, as we begin to understand the deeply personal nature of your upgrade, let's now explore how this process is governed by a universal principle. The law of resonance, a kind of cosmic tuning fork that is constantly shaping your reality. Imagine a guitar string. When you pluck one string, the other strings will start to vibrate in sympathy with the first. This is resonance, and it is a fundamental law of the universe. Everything, including you, is energy, and that energy is constantly vibrating at a specific frequency, creating an energetic signature. And this frequency isn't just some abstract concept. It's the very essence of your experience, constantly attracting experiences that match your dominant vibration, like attracts like. If your dominant frequency is one of fear, then your experiences will reflect that vibration back to you in all areas of your life. If your dominant frequency is one of joy and love, then your life will reflect that back to you just as easily. The law of resonance isn't just an abstract idea. It's the very mechanism that governs your experience of reality and the way that you attract experiences, both positive and negative, into your life every single day, like a cosmic mirror. And most importantly, this law is always at play, working constantly, and regardless of whether you understand it or not. It is constantly shaping your personal experience, and more importantly, it is also shaping the entire experience of the upgrade. And this understanding leads to the idea of vibrational alignment, which isn't just about positive thinking. It's about consciously aligning your internal state with the reality that you desire and the upgrade that you want to experience. Think of yourself as a radio tuner, and you're constantly choosing the frequencies that you want to experience. When you are aligned, all of the pieces work together perfectly. When you are out of alignment, there will be static. By consciously choosing your thoughts, your emotions, and your focus, you're actively tuning your internal vibration to match your desired outcomes. And how do you do this? It starts with intention. By clearly defining what you want to experience, you are setting the direction for your personal frequency. Then, by consciously choosing thoughts that resonate with your desires, you are reinforcing that frequency with your attention, and with the power of emotion, feeling the emotions associated with your desired outcome. As if it were already here, you're amplifying your vibration and attracting those experiences with more speed, more ease, and more power. This is a conscious and active creation, and you have all the tools needed to create your experience and to consciously create the very best and most empowering upgrade. This isn't about passively waiting for the best to happen, it's about actively creating it. And when you consciously align your internal vibrations, you start to attract the most empowering version of your upgrade. Because the law of resonance doesn't just apply to your day-to-day life, it applies to every single aspect of your transition to the next state. When you are actively choosing your internal state, you are consciously programming your own experience, shifting away from a transition that is filled with fear and the unknown into one that is filled with peace, joy, and love, making it a conscious choice and not a passive event. And think of the upgrade not as a sudden shift, but as a continuous process of transformation, where you're constantly evolving, constantly expanding, and constantly fine-tuning your vibration with each and every choice that you make. And each moment is a new opportunity to align with your highest potential, consciously choosing the emotions, the thoughts, the actions that resonate with the experience that you desire. The upgrade is not something that will happen to you in the future. It's something that you are creating with your every choice, in every moment, through your personal mastery of the law of resonance. And how can you actually use this in your day-to-day life? Begin by making the practice of consciously choosing your frequency a part of your everyday routine. Start with affirmations, repeating empowering statements that reinforce the vibration that you want to embody, and do this with conviction and feeling. Use visualization, creating vivid mental images of your desired future, experiencing the emotions as if they were already here, and make this a part of your daily practice. Engage in emotional regulation, consciously choosing to release lower emotions like fear and anger, and replacing them with joy, gratitude, and love, which will create a powerful shift in your energetic signature. All of these practices are powerful tools for shifting your vibration, attracting the experiences that you desire, and creating a more empowered upgrade. And the most important part is to stay consistent. Just like learning to play an instrument, the more you practice, the more masterful you become at tuning your own frequency and attracting the life that you desire with more grace and ease. The law of resonance is not just an idea. It's an active tool that you can use to transform your experience of reality every single day and to consciously create your ideal upgrade. Now, let's take a step back to explore the bigger picture and how this personal transformation is connected to a much larger shift, the collective consciousness, a vast interconnected web of energy that connects all living beings. Think of this as the ocean, and each of us is a wave, a unique expression of the whole, but still a part of the greater body of water. And when you shift your personal frequency, you're not just changing your own experience, you're creating a ripple effect that influences the collective field. Your act of kindness, your moment of joy, your decision to choose love over fear, all contribute to the overall frequency of humanity, creating waves that extend far beyond your own personal reality. And it also works in the other direction. The collective state of consciousness is constantly influencing us, which is why it is so important to actively choose your input and to choose to be a positive force in the world. The collective consciousness is a living, breathing entity that is always being shaped by the individual choices of every being, and this understanding creates a deep sense of responsibility and also a deep sense of hope. Your personal upgrade is not isolated. It's a powerful contribution to the collective transformation. And this ripple effect also highlights the powerful impact that you can have on the world, even with the smallest act. Each time you choose compassion over anger, each time you choose love over fear, each time you choose to empower yourself, you are creating a ripple effect that changes not only your reality, but also the collective reality. And it is important to recognize that your choices and your actions have a far greater impact than you may realize. By choosing to be the best version of yourself, by choosing to live from your heart, you're becoming a beacon of light, an example for others to step into their power. And you don't need to do something big or heroic to make a difference. Simple acts of kindness, a loving word, a moment of presence, all create a positive impact and help to shift the collective consciousness to a more empowered direction. This is the true power of interconnectedness, and it highlights the powerful role that each of us plays in the transformation of the world. Your actions matter, your choices matter, your very presence matters, and you are creating a new reality with every single breath. And this collective shift in consciousness is already dismantling old control systems that are built on fear and separation, like a tide that is slowly rising and dissolving all of the old structures. And as more and more individuals awaken to their personal power, the systems of manipulation that have kept humanity asleep for so long are becoming less and less effective. The collective is waking up, questioning the narratives that have been given to them and actively choosing to live from a place of love and empowerment, dismantling all of the old structures and actively creating a new world. This process isn't sudden or violent. It's a gradual and natural evolution of consciousness, a rising wave of awareness that is washing away the old and making space for the new. This is the natural consequence of conscious individuals reclaiming their power and creating a world based on unity and collaboration, and every personal shift contributes to this larger movement. This is the beginning of a true revolution of the heart, and you are an important part of it. The collective awakening is underway, and you are contributing to it right now. And this process is paving the way for a new reality, a vision of a world based on collaboration, empathy, and empowerment, where all of us are living from our highest potential in a state of harmony and unity. This isn't just a utopian dream. It's a tangible possibility that is being created in the present moment by every conscious individual who chooses to step into their power. Imagine a world without fear, a world without separation, a world where each and every person recognizes the divinity within themselves and each other. This new reality is already in the making, and you are creating it with every choice that you make. This isn't a distant goal. It's a present reality that is constantly evolving and that is shaped by your choices, by your intentions, and by the love that you choose to share. This new earth is not a far-off concept. It's a present possibility that all of us are actively creating. This is our shared future, and it's being built right now. Now, let's explore another mind-bending concept: timelines, which may seem like a linear progression of time, but are really an infinite number of possibilities, all existing simultaneously, like different paths in a vast and ever-expanding forest. And you're not bound by a single timeline. You're constantly shifting between different realities based on your intentions, your focus, and your vibrational frequency. Think of it as a series of choices, and each time you make a choice, you're moving into a different path, a new possibility. The timeline that you experience is a direct reflection of your internal state, which is a powerful concept that shows you how much power you really hold. This is not a fixed reality. It's a constantly evolving tapestry of possibilities, and you are the one who is choosing the path you are walking on with every choice you make. This means that you're not stuck in some predetermined course. You're actively navigating your own reality and your own future. And this is the concept of timeline shifting, which means that through the power of intention and focus, you can actually shift from one timeline to another, creating entirely new experiences. Think of it like switching channels on a TV, where each channel is a different experience of reality. And this is not about wishful thinking. It's about intentionally choosing the reality that you want to experience, aligning your energy with the timeline that best reflects your desires. When you choose a positive intention and visualize that outcome, you are actively shifting your vibration and moving towards a timeline where that intention is manifested. And it's important to remember that you have access to this power at every moment, and that every choice you make has an impact on the timeline that you're currently experiencing. You are not a passive recipient of your reality. You're an active creator of it, and you're constantly shifting timelines based on your level of awareness and your personal intentions. And this leads to the idea of dimensional realities, which are similar to timelines, but operating on an even larger scale, where each dimension has its own unique set of rules and experiences, like different levels in a complex video game. And it's important to know that these dimensions are not places that are far away. They are energetic frequencies that you can access right here and now. When you shift your consciousness, you're also shifting to a new dimensional state. And the upgrade is also a dimensional shift, a movement to a higher frequency and a more expanded state of awareness. Think of it like an energetic upgrade of your software, where you can experience the world with more clarity, more love, and more joy. And the dimension that you inhabit is also a direct reflection of your internal vibration. When you are resonating with low frequencies like fear and anger, you are experiencing a more dense and more limited dimension. When you are resonating with high frequencies like love, joy, and gratitude, you are experiencing a more expanded and more empowered reality, which brings the whole process back into the present moment. Your consciousness determines your experience, your reality, and your dimension. And the upgrade that we have been talking about is, in essence, a timeline shift, a conscious movement towards a higher dimensional experience, where you are fully aligned with your highest potential, a movement into a new reality where your consciousness is more expanded, where your understanding is more clear, and where your connection with the divine is more tangible. And this is not something that will happen to you passively. It's something that you can actively shape with your choices, by choosing a timeline and a dimension that is aligned with love, expansion, and joy. And it is not about escaping this reality. It's about consciously choosing to align with a more positive expression of your soul, for now and for the future. This isn't just about what happens after death, but about what you are creating in each and every moment. The upgrade is a constant act of creation, and your choices are the driving force behind this incredible transformation. You are not just moving to a new state, you are creating it with intention and awareness and love. And this understanding of timelines and dimensions leads us to another important idea, that reality isn't always as solid as it seems, and that sometimes the illusion falters, giving us a glimpse behind the curtain. These moments are often referred to as glitches in the matrix, or what some may call synchronicities, or just bizarre coincidences that make us pause and question what is really going on. And these glitches aren't just random events. They are clues, indications that there is something more to reality than what we perceive on the surface, like a crack in the code of the simulation, showing the deeper interconnectedness of all things, a peek behind the veil. Think of a time when you saw something that defied explanation, or when you felt a moment of déjà vu so real, it made you wonder, have I experienced this before? These experiences aren't just random, they are signs of a deeper reality waiting to be discovered. The glitches are not just anomalies, they are signposts on the path of understanding the true nature of reality. And these glitches aren't just random moments. They are meaningful clues, opportunities to deepen your understanding of reality, a constant call to question the narrative you've been given, and to recognize that everything that you experience is not as fixed as it seems. By paying attention to these moments, you are starting to see behind the illusion, revealing the interconnectedness of all things and the possibility of shifting your experience at will. And they are also invitations to self-reflection, pushing you to question your assumptions about the nature of reality and your role in creating that reality. They serve as a constant reminder that you are not a passive recipient of an objective world, but an active co-creator of your own experience. The glitches are not just strange happenings. They are invitations to a deeper awareness and a more conscious way of living. And this also means that the reality that we perceive is not some fixed objective fact. It's a subjective experience that is constantly being created by our beliefs. The glitches are like a crack in the wall of consensus reality, showing us that there are different possibilities and different perspectives beyond what we have been led to believe. And these glitches are calling you to challenge the limitations that have been imposed upon you and to recognize that there are other ways of seeing, other ways of experiencing, and other ways of being. By stepping outside of consensus reality, you are beginning to see the world from a more expanded perspective. The reality that you experience is not the only possibility. It's one of many possibilities, and you have the power to choose the one that best reflects your highest potential. And how can you become more attuned to these glitches and make them a part of your conscious experience? By cultivating a deeper awareness of the present moment through the practice of mindfulness, which is the first step to noticing the subtle signs that reality is not fixed, that there are hidden dimensions that are waiting to be explored, and that this state of presence creates an open receptivity, an ability to see the patterns that are always there and to recognize that everything is interconnected. And the more aware you become, the more frequently these glitches will appear, not just as random events, but as meaningful signs along your path, showing you the deeper nature of reality and your place within it. These are opportunities for growth and moments that call you to explore the deepest corners of your awareness. And this exploration leads us to one of the most important concepts, the power of the observer, and how this power relates to every aspect of your experience. And the very act of observation shapes the reality that is being observed, which has already been proven by quantum physics. The observer is not separate from the observed. The observer is an active participant in the creation of that reality, like a painter who shapes their canvas with every single stroke, showing that your consciousness is not just witnessing reality, it is actively shaping it. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your intentions are all forces that are interacting with the field of possibility, creating the experiences that you are perceiving, making the observer effect a very tangible way of understanding how powerful you really are. This isn't just a theoretical idea, it's a daily experience, a way of understanding your power that is constantly at work. The observer is not just watching, the observer is creating the reality itself. And this also means that by shifting your focus, you can actively shift your reality, as your attention is a powerful force that is constantly shaping your experience. Where you choose to place your attention is where your energy flows and where your reality will be created. When you choose to focus on fear and lack, you are creating an experience that mirrors that energy. When you focus on love and abundance, you create an experience of those very same things. Your focus is not just a passive thing, it's an active force that is constantly shaping your world, every single moment. This means that you always have a choice. You have the choice to choose where you place your focus and to consciously create the experience that you want to have. This is the core of your power and the key to unlocking your full potential. Your focus is not just an observation, it's an active participation in the creation of reality. And how do you do this? By actively choosing to become the conscious observer of your own experience, cultivating self-awareness, by noticing your patterns of thought, your emotional reactions, and your habitual behaviors without judgment, and by observing these things, you are starting to detach from the limiting beliefs that have kept you trapped for so long, which gives you a choice to act rather than react. This is how you begin to see your reality from a more empowered perspective, and you begin to see that you are not your thoughts, you are not your emotions, you are the conscious being that is observing those thoughts and those emotions, which gives you the choice to choose. This is the ultimate key to liberation, and the first step in taking ownership of your reality, moving you from a passive participant into an active co-creator. The conscious observer is not just a witness, the conscious observer is the source of change. And by reclaiming your power as a conscious observer, you begin to rewrite the story of your life and actively participate in the creation of your upgrade, from a place of clarity and intention. This is not about some future ideal. It's about engaging with your power in the present moment and shaping both your current experience and your future state. This is the ultimate expression of your creative potential, the realization that you are not just a wave. You are the entire ocean, and you have access to infinite possibilities. The conscious observer is not just watching reality unfold. They are the active force that is shaping it. This is the full potential of your being, a conscious creator of your experience and a master of your own evolution. This is where all the previous ideas come together to create a completely new paradigm. And now that we have explored all of these concepts, Let's move towards the final piece of the puzzle, a vision of the new Earth, a future where all conscious beings create a world based on love, empathy, and empowerment, a world where every individual is living from their highest potential, a world where fear is replaced with love and separation is replaced with unity. This vision isn't just a fantasy. It's a tangible possibility that we are all creating in this moment, and that is based on the interconnectedness of all things, where our individual transformations contribute to the collective shift that we are creating with every choice we make. This new Earth is not a distant dream. It's a present reality that we are building together with love, with hope, and with awareness. And it's important to remember that this upgrade isn't a single event that will suddenly change your reality. It's a continuous journey of growth and expansion, an ongoing process that is happening now with every choice that you make. Each moment is a new opportunity to step into your power, to align your energy with your highest potential, and to choose the future that you desire. This isn't a future promise. It's a present opportunity, an invitation to become the conscious co-creator of your experience and the active agent of your own evolution. The upgrade is not something that is coming. It's a journey that you are living right now. And it's equally important to know that you have an active and crucial role in creating this new reality, which means that every single choice you make has the potential to impact not just your personal experience, but also the collective transformation of the world. By embracing your personal power, by choosing love over fear, by choosing empathy over separation, you are actively shaping the future of humanity, and you are becoming an active participant in the creation of the new Earth. Your actions are not insignificant. They are powerful forces that are shaping the course of history, and your commitment to growth is the catalyst for collective change. You are not just a spectator of this process. You are an active co-creator of it. And so, let's understand that the upgrade is not just a passive transition. It's a conscious choice, an active engagement with your power, an intentional journey of both personal and collective evolution. And this is an opportunity to step into your full potential, to embrace your divine nature, and to consciously shape the reality that you want to experience. You have all the tools that you need, and it is up to you to choose the path that you desire. The upgrade isn't a passive event. It's a conscious journey, and the journey starts with your next intention, your next choice, and the love that you choose to share. And that brings us to the end of this section, but not the end of your journey. So let's shift our focus from the theoretical to the practical, and explore how you can consciously embody this upgrade in your daily life. Because it's not just an event that happens at some point in the future. It's a process that you're actively engaging with now. And that starts with your ability to consciously inhabit the present moment. It's easy to get lost in the distractions of daily life, to constantly be pulled by the future or the past. But the present moment is the only place where true power exists. By cultivating a practice of mindful presence, you're not just doing an exercise, you're actively creating the space for a smoother and more empowered transition, learning to engage with the present not as a passive event, but as a conscious and active choice. This is where you start to become aware of the program and how to rewrite it right here and now. And how do you do this in real life? Start by making simple shifts, paying attention to the feeling of your breath, observing the sensations of your body, and taking a few moments to be fully present as you walk, eat, or even wash the dishes. The key is to bring your awareness into your body, out of your thoughts, grounding you in the now. These moments of mindful presence are not just an escape from the chaos. They are active engagements with the very essence of your being, a conscious choice to step into the power of now and to become more than a passive observer and an active participant. And this is how you start to rewrite your program, by consciously choosing your experience. This is how you begin to engage with the upgrade now, by choosing to be present. And another important part of embodying the upgrade is learning to consciously navigate your emotional landscape, because your emotions are not just fleeting feelings, they are powerful vibrational states that are constantly shaping your experience. If you're constantly reacting to your emotions, you are at the mercy of the program. But when you learn to regulate them consciously, you are taking control of your vibrational state, and you're becoming the master of your own experience. You have all the power to shift into a higher frequency. And this is not about suppressing your emotions or about becoming some kind of emotionless robot. It's about developing the awareness to recognize the energy of those emotions and to consciously choose how you respond to them. How do you do this practically? When you feel an emotion arise, take a breath and notice the sensations in your body without judgment, observing the emotion as a wave of energy rather than letting it control you. And by creating space around the emotion, you're giving yourself a choice, the choice to either react to it or to consciously choose a different state. And if that's a lower emotional state, like anger or fear, you can actively choose to shift your focus by using practices like gratitude or by focusing on something beautiful. This is a skill that you develop with practice, making you more and more adept at shifting into a higher vibrational state, consciously tuning your own frequency and directly impacting your experience, all while creating a more empowered upgrade. This is not just about feeling good, it's about taking control. This is how you are consciously creating your upgrade. And another important step in embodying your upgrade is to integrate conscious intentions into every single part of your daily life, understanding that intention is the very starting point of all creation. So, by setting clear intentions before any activity, you're actively directing your energy, and you're becoming a conscious co-creator of your reality. This is how you make the most of the present moment. And this is not just about setting goals or making plans, it's about infusing your choices with a clear sense of purpose and a deep sense of awareness. How can you start doing this now? Before you begin any activity, take a moment to pause and ask yourself, what do I intend to create with this action? It can be something as simple as, I intend to have a joyful interaction with this person, or I intend to complete this task with focus and ease. The key is to choose an intention that resonates with your highest potential and to feel the emotions associated with that intention as if it were already happening. By bringing your intention to the forefront of your mind, and by aligning your actions with that intention, you are becoming a conscious co-creator, and you are actively shaping your experience as well as your upgrade. This is how you consciously create your reality and how you begin to understand the power of your will. This is how you take control of the program right now. And to make sure that this process is moving in the right direction, it's also important to create a practice of regular personal check-ins, where you consciously assess your progress and make any adjustments as needed. This isn't about being perfect. It's about creating a feedback loop which allows you to be more conscious, more aware, and more effective in your journey. This is not a passive process. It's an active engagement, and you are in charge of monitoring your own trajectory. And how do you implement these personal check-ins? Set aside some time each week to reflect on your thoughts, your emotions, your intentions, and your actions, and ask yourself, am I aligned with my highest potential? Am I moving towards the upgrade that I want to experience? And are my intentions and my actions aligned? If you find that you're not fully aligned, make any changes that are needed and recommit to your intentions, knowing that you are not a passive recipient of your reality and that you have all the power to change your path at any time. These personal check-ins are not just a practice. They are opportunities for growth, for transformation, and for active engagement in your own evolution, an opportunity to fine-tune your frequency. This is how you create a smoother and more empowering experience as you become the conscious navigator of your own journey, always in tune and always in charge. This is your process, and it's up to you to maintain it. Now, let's expand our understanding of this idea and explore the nature of reality itself, looking at the idea of timelines, not as some fixed linear path, but as an infinite series of possibilities, all coexisting simultaneously. And you're not stuck in a single timeline. You're constantly shifting between these different realities based on your choices, your intentions, and your vibrational state. And the reality that you're experiencing at any moment is a direct reflection of the frequency that you're vibrating at. So how can we become more aware of this? Think of your life as a series of branching paths, where every choice, every intention, and every emotion takes you down a new road. This is not a linear experience, but an infinite expansion of possibilities. And by becoming aware of these different timelines, you can also become more conscious of the direction that you're taking, always with the opportunity to shift your path as you choose. This awareness isn't just an abstract idea. It's a practical skill, the ability to see the hidden possibilities that surround you, like a navigator who reads the stars and charts their own course, and you're doing it with every single choice you make. This awareness is the first step to actively engaging with different timelines and consciously choosing the ones that resonate with your highest potential, and this is where the power of choice comes into play. This is not some future goal. It is what you're actively doing now, in every single moment. And with that awareness comes the power of consciously shifting timelines, which means that you have the ability to actively choose a more positive and empowering experience by intentionally shifting your focus, your emotions, and your intentions to align with the reality that you want to experience. This isn't about escaping this reality. It's about actively creating the reality that you desire, and to understand that you have far more agency than you have been led to believe. You can literally choose your reality. How do you do this in practice? Start by clearly defining the timeline that you want to experience. Visualize that timeline vividly, feel the emotions associated with that experience, and make choices that are aligned with that reality, all while maintaining a deep and consistent focus. Think of it as an act of conscious creation, where your awareness, intention, and emotion are all working in concert to actively shift your experience. It is like choosing a different channel on a television, always with a specific focus and a specific intention. And by practicing this consciously, you're not just passively moving through time. You are actively navigating your own destiny, shifting into the timeline that best reflects your highest potential. This is not wishful thinking. It's a demonstration of your power. This is how you are actively engaging with different possibilities and choosing the most empowering one for you. And this takes us into the concept of dimensional awareness, and the understanding that our reality isn't limited to a single dimension, but that there are an infinite number of dimensions, all existing simultaneously, like different stations on a radio dial, and that you can shift into these different dimensions simply by shifting your vibrational state. And the upgrade itself is not just about moving on. It's about shifting into another dimensional experience, into a vibrational frequency where you are more aligned with your intentions and your highest potential. This is not some abstract concept. It's the underlying nature of reality. So how can you begin to explore these other dimensions? Start by becoming more aware of your own vibrational state, using the practices we have already talked about. And by raising your frequency, you can start to access new dimensions of awareness, gaining more clarity, more connection, and more expansion, all with the power of your intention. These dimensions are not places that are far away, they're states of consciousness, and you have the ability to access them with your awareness. This is how the upgrade works. It's about shifting your frequency. The dimensions are not out there, they're within, and you can access them through your consciousness. And by understanding the nature of timelines and dimensions, you can then learn to navigate these realities with clarity and intention, understanding that you are not stuck in some fixed experience, and that you have the ability to move through them with awareness, with grace, and with ease. This is not about escaping the challenges that life may bring, but about becoming more adept at navigating the waves of reality, more like a skilled surfer who is always in tune with the ocean, aware of all the different possibilities, and choosing their path with skill and intention. You are the navigator of your own reality, always moving forward and always growing. And how do you do this in practice? By consciously staying grounded in the present moment, by remaining aware of your intentions, by continuously adjusting your focus, and by cultivating a sense of inner peace, which allows you to navigate through any situation with clarity and with grace. This is not just about controlling your experience. It's about becoming the master of your own journey and about using those experiences for your growth and for your expansion, choosing what to engage with and choosing where your energy flows. This is how you become the master of your own reality, the surfer who knows how to ride every wave, even the most challenging ones, and that is the real power of the upgrade. And as we explore the idea of navigating these different realities, we arrive at another mind-bending concept, the illusion of control, and the idea that we often think that we are in charge, but that our reality is much more complex than that. And the attempt to control everything can be one of the greatest sources of suffering. And this illusion is directly tied into the idea of the simulation, as well as the program, where we believe that this reality is fixed and objective, and that our control is absolute. This belief is also where the fear of death and the upgrade comes from. But when you start to understand the true nature of reality, you start to see that there is a bigger plan at play, something that is far beyond your individual control. And this doesn't mean that you're powerless. It means that you are participating in a larger story, and that the more you try to control, the more resistance you encounter. This idea challenges our concept of linearity and pushes us to question our assumptions of how things should be. And this is where the idea of surrender comes in. It's about letting go of the need to control every single aspect of your journey and instead choosing to trust in the flow of life. This isn't about giving up. It's about surrendering to something greater than yourself, something wiser, something that has already been perfectly designed. And this brings us to the powerful tool of surrender, which is not about giving up or becoming passive. It's about consciously choosing to align with the flow of life and to trust that there is a bigger plan unfolding and that you are an important part of it. This means that you're no longer resisting what is, and you are choosing to be open to what can be, and that's where the power is. And this doesn't mean that you stop setting intentions or making choices. It means that you're making those choices from a place of trust and allowing the universe to bring you to your highest good. And how do you actually surrender? By being present, by letting go of your expectations, by trusting the journey, and by acknowledging that you are part of something that is far larger than you. This is not about losing control. It's about surrendering to the intelligence of the universe, a conscious act of letting go of resistance and choosing to move with the flow rather than against it, allowing for the beauty and the grace that will always be there. This is the power of surrender, the ability to move through life with more peace, more ease, and more joy. And the biggest obstacle that prevents us from surrendering is fear, fear of the unknown, fear of change, and fear of losing control. And when you understand that fear is also a major tool of control used by the system to keep you trapped, then you can consciously choose to address that fear and start to move towards freedom, understanding that fear is an illusion. The fear of death is the biggest illusion of them all. So how can you begin to release that fear? Start by acknowledging that all fear is based on limiting beliefs, and then choose to consciously release those beliefs. This is where the power of choice comes in, as you are no longer a victim of your fear, but the master of your experience. It is about understanding that fear is not a force that is working against you, but an indication of where you can grow. And by facing those fears with courage and awareness, you begin to create the space for more love, more peace, and more joy, all while dismantling the program and all the limits it imposed, and allowing the universe to carry you forward with ease. This is where true freedom exists, in the ability to embrace the unknown with courage and with an open heart. You are more powerful than any fear. You are the master of your own reality. And when you choose to surrender to the present moment, without fear, you begin to understand the grace that is always available to you, and you begin to experience the beauty of now, knowing that everything is always working perfectly, regardless of what the program is trying to tell you, and that when you consciously surrender to the present, you open yourself up to an infinite well of guidance. of support, and of love. This is where the upgrade happens, right here in this moment. It is not a future goal, it is a present experience. And how do you access this grace? By quieting your mind, by opening your heart, and by choosing to be fully present with what is, knowing that you are always connected to Source, and that you are always being held, always being loved, always being guided. This is the true power of surrender, the ability to access the deepest well of peace and joy, knowing that you are an integral part of the universe, and that you are not alone, ever. This is where the upgrade begins, in the grace of now. And finally, let's bring all of these ideas together by stating that the upgrade is a process that is beginning now, and that you have all the power to shape your experience with your intentions and your choices. You are not a passive recipient of this process. You are an active co-creator, the conscious navigator of your own destiny, and you can choose the experience you will have. And this is not something that is happening to you. It's something that you are creating with each and every choice that you make. And by continuing to practice these techniques, you are actively shaping your upgrade, moving through the different timelines and dimensions and becoming more aligned with your highest potential. This is not just an idea. It's an active engagement with your own power. And as you engage with this power, always know that your active participation is what shapes the entire experience. The upgrade is not some event in the future. It's a continuous process of transformation where your awareness, your intention, and your choices are shaping your current reality and your future states of being. You have all the tools you need, and you have all the support you need. And it's your choice to step into your power and to actively create the reality that you desire, both now and in all of the timelines and dimensions that are available to you. This isn't about waiting. It's about engaging actively and with power. This is about you. And with that power comes the opportunity to unlock your full potential, understanding that you have abilities that you have yet to discover, and that these abilities are unlocked through conscious awareness, through intention, and by consciously choosing to expand your understanding of who you truly are. And as you step more fully into your power, you're not just changing your own life. You're becoming an active participant in the transformation of the entire world. This isn't just an ideal, it's a tangible possibility available to you right now. You have all the abilities, all the support, and you have all the power. And finally, always know that the choice is always yours, and that you are the only one who can determine your path, and that you have all of the tools you need to create your reality, to create your upgrade, and to step into your highest potential. You are the master of your own destiny, a conscious co-creator of your experience, and you have all the power that you will ever need. The path is yours, and the journey starts now with your next intention, with your next choice, and with the love that you choose to share. So let's bring all of this together now and look at the primary revelation of this journey, which is that death, as you have been taught to fear it, is not an ending at all, but a conscious upgrade, a shift in the state of consciousness, where your energy, which is your consciousness, simply transitions into another form, like a wave returning to the ocean, as the energy is never lost. It simply changes its form. And the fear that you may feel around this concept has been actively created to keep you from understanding your own power, by keeping you trapped in a lower vibrational frequency, and by keeping you disconnected from your own true essence and your own infinite potential. And this program, these limiting beliefs that keep you trapped in this fear, are not some immutable truth. They are just a set of beliefs that you have taken on, like a program that can be rewritten with new intentions, with conscious awareness, and with a deep understanding that you are not a passive recipient of reality, but a powerful being who is capable of co-creating your experience, moment by moment, always in the process of upgrading, and always with the power of choice. And throughout this journey, we have explored this cycle of control, manipulation, and awakening, not just as a historical pattern, but as an active process that is taking place in your own life, where the system tries to keep you trapped in a web of fear, and where you have the power to break free, not just by fighting against the system, but by transforming your own inner landscape, by rewriting the program that is keeping you stuck. And this control isn't just about some external force. It's about your own internal beliefs and assumptions about how reality works. And the fact that you have been taught to fear death is the greatest evidence of this manipulation. But the power has always been yours, the ability to awaken, to reclaim your intentionality, and to choose your path. And now you know that there is a whole different perspective, one where you are not a victim, but a conscious co-creator, and that's where your power resides, in your ability to choose. And every time you choose to break free from a limiting belief, you're not just transforming yourself, you're actively disrupting the program and setting the stage for a more empowered experience, not just for you, but for all of humanity. You have more power than you have ever imagined. So let's put all the pieces together now and look at how consciousness as energy, the upgrade, the control systems, personal power, intentionality, and collective transformation are all interconnected aspects of this larger puzzle, where the level of your consciousness, your ability to engage with your intentions, and your ability to focus all have a direct impact on your current experience, as well as on the upgrade process. The more you are aligned with your authentic self, the more you understand your power, the more smoothly your upgrade will flow now and through the different timelines and dimensions that await you. And every single practice that we have discussed, from mindful presence to conscious intention to emotional regulation, are all part of the same unified system for transformation, where each part reinforces the other, and that is how you step into a higher frequency and choose a more empowered experience, knowing that it's always been up to you and always will be. This is your power, and it is available now. This is your active engagement with your upgrade. And the main goal of this journey was to give you a new perspective, a new lens through which you can see your own reality, understanding that your beliefs and your assumptions about the world create the very experience that you are living. And just like death can be seen as an upgrade, all of your life can also be viewed from a different perspective, where everything is in a constant state of flow and transformation, and where you have the power to choose the experience that you desire always, with every single intention, emotion, and focus. And if the perceived reality is a simulation, as we discussed, then by changing your internal state, you are actively changing the reality that you experience, shifting into a different timeline and choosing a more empowering experience. This power has always been yours. You simply needed to remember it and to start using it with intention. And now, you're no longer just passively living your life. You're consciously co-creating your own reality and stepping into your full potential now. You are the master of your own simulation. You are the programmer, and you are in charge of rewriting your own code, choosing your own experience. Now, let's expand on the broader context of this understanding, and the idea that this knowledge isn't just for you as an individual, but it's for all of humanity, and that your personal transformation is an important part of a larger collective shift, where you, as a conscious being, have an important role to play in the evolution of the world. And that understanding your own power has the ability to create a new world based on love, unity, and empowerment, rather than fear and control. And this is not just some far-off dream. It's a movement that is already underway, where people from all different walks of life are remembering their power, choosing to step out of the program, and to create a more beautiful experience, not just for themselves, but for everyone. And your individual awakening is an important part of this global transformation, as you become an active participant in creating a new reality for all. You are not alone. You are a part of something much greater, always connected, always growing, and always evolving. Your choices matter, and your intentions shape the world. And let's look again at this cycle of manipulation and awakening from a perspective of true empowerment, knowing that the control system can be dismantled by each of us individually, through self-awareness, through conscious intention, and through a willingness to transform our own inner landscape. And every time you choose to step out of fear and into love, you're not just freeing yourself. You're creating a ripple effect, influencing everyone around you and dismantling the system, one act of courage, one act of awareness at a time. And the power has always been within you. You simply needed to remember it and to choose it. And no matter how powerful the controlling force may seem, we as individuals have the ability to rise above it, just like David against Goliath, demonstrating that even the smallest acts of love and awareness have the power to transform the world and to create a new reality for all. You are the David, and you are the one who is capable of making a change. Now, let's explore the implications of this understanding for your daily life, as you realize that how you think, how you feel, and how you act in every single moment shapes not just your current experience, but also your future upgrade, and that every choice, every intention, and every action has a profound effect on the reality that you are creating now and for the future, and with that awareness, you also have the opportunity to align with a new frequency, one that is based on intention, on focus, on emotional regulation, and on a deep sense of love and joy, and that these are not just abstract concepts, but practical skills that you can use to navigate the waves of life with more awareness, with more skill, and with more grace. The more that you integrate these practices into your daily life, the more easily you are able to navigate all the challenges and opportunities that arise, knowing that you are not at the mercy of circumstance, but you are the master of your own destiny, and that your daily choices are what creates your reality now and for your upgrade. And this information isn't just about gaining knowledge, but about embodying this knowledge through your daily practices and through conscious actions, understanding that your upgrade is not just some passive event, but a continuous process of growth, transformation, and expansion that requires your active participation, your deep self-awareness, and your full presence. And you have all of the tools that you need, all of the support that you need, and the journey is yours to navigate with intention, with love, and with joy, knowing that you're not just acquiring information, but you're actively transforming your own experience, always, in every single moment, and choosing to create a more beautiful reality for all, now, and for your future upgrade. This is your journey, and your choices are what shape it, always. So let's complete this journey now by remembering all of the pieces: the control, the awakening, the personal power, the intentionality, the upgrade, and the collective transformation, understanding that these are not just separate ideas, but that they're all interconnected parts of a larger whole, a single unified journey of growth and evolution, where each part reinforces the other. And where your understanding of the program, your ability to rewrite your limiting beliefs, and your deep connection with your own power all contribute to the creation of your present and your future states of being. It's like a symphony where every instrument plays its part, creating a beautiful melody, and the melody is your life now and always. And you, as the conscious composer, have all the power to orchestrate that beautiful song. This is not just an idea, it's a living, breathing experience that you are creating with every single choice. And as you understand this now, remember that the cycle of control and awakening is an active process, where you are not just a passive observer, but a conscious participant, and that this awakening is already well underway, not just for you, but for the entire planet, where each act of self-awareness, each intention of love, and every action of courage is an important part of this global transformation. And that you are connected to all of it, and that you have the ability to create a ripple effect that can transform the world. And even the smallest acts of kindness and understanding are powerful forces of change, as you collectively shift into a higher frequency and choose a more beautiful experience for all. You are a part of a larger collective. You are always connected. You are never alone. And as we approach the end of this journey, let's revisit the initial question, the idea that death is a conscious upgrade, a shift in your state of consciousness, and connect this idea to all of the other concepts that we have discussed, and the understanding that your power has the ability to change your entire experience right here and right now, and that this upgrade is not something that you need to wait for, but a process that is happening in every moment, and that by consciously engaging with your intentions and your choices, you are creating a more beautiful reality, not just for your future upgrade, but for your present moment, and that this power is always available to you. You have always been in control, now you just know it. The upgrade is happening now. And as you choose to embrace your power and your journey, let go of the need to fight the control system, and instead choose to transcend it through conscious awareness and positive creation, knowing that the journey is an ongoing process, a constant evolution, and that every moment offers the opportunity to create more beauty, more joy, and more love, and that by surrendering to the flow of life, you're opening yourself up to infinite possibilities, allowing the universe to carry you forward with grace as you move towards your most beautiful expression of self, and that the upgrade itself is not just a singular event, but the ongoing dance of transformation, where you, as a conscious being, are always in a state of growth, like a river, always flowing, always moving, and always arriving, and always in peace. Now, as you step into this new understanding, always know that this journey is an ongoing one, that there's always more to explore, more to discover, and always more to create, and that the questions are never-ending. And that's where the beauty resides, in the constant seeking, the constant growing, and in the constant dance of transformation. And as you continue to explore, you'll always have more opportunities for growth, for love, and for expansion. And now that you have opened this door, what other new questions will you seek? What new truths will you uncover? And what new realities will you create? And know that the implications of this knowledge are endless, that this journey is personal, and that the possibilities for how this understanding will unfold are infinite, always, and that the most powerful element is that you always have the ability to choose your experience, that you are the master of your own destiny, and that your power is the key to unlocking your own limitless potential. You are the only one who can define the path, and the next choice is always yours, always. And as you continue your journey, share your insights in the comments below, and let's create a community of conscious co-creators, all exploring these ideas together and participating in this global awakening as we share our experiences and grow together in our knowledge and in our power. Your voice matters, your truth matters, and your experience is always an important part of the collective. And I look forward to hearing what you think and what new understanding you have discovered for yourself. Your journey matters. And always know that this is just the beginning of this conversation, that there will be more videos and more materials to explore these ideas even further always, and that the journey is ongoing, and that your exploration will never end. Remember to subscribe and to continue learning, and always, always choose love, choose joy, and choose to be the master of your own destiny, because you are the power and you are the potential. The upgrade is yours. Now go create it.